President Trump today became the first and definitely only recipient of the Undisputed Champion of Coal Award. That's right. He received this handsome trophy from the Washington Coal Club. I think you have to shoot a polar bear to get into it or something. President Donald Trump has been named the Undisputed Champion of Coal, and may our lungs be as black as his heart. Congratulations.
Yes. And then they went in to rescue a meth dealer, an illegal alien gang member, drunk driving meth dealer, because the Democrat Party, it's called energy. And we have the cleanest burning coal in the world. They're fine with the Chinese building a dirty coal plant every week. Pay no attention to that. Yeah, this is propaganda, late night propaganda. It's not comedy. It's not entertainment. They're not interview shows. They're left-wing propaganda by the broadcast networks every night of the week, every broadcast network. Well, good morning to you. A very happy Thursday, and welcome back once again. We are at 888-630-9625. It's good to be a Democrat, isn't it? You don't even have to do anything. You don't have to do your own propaganda. You've got billion-dollar networks doing your bidding for you when you're a left-wing Democrat, radical, anti-energy, anti-American, anti-capitalist, pro-open borders, pro-Venezuelan gang, Salvadoran gang. Where's Kilmore Abrego Garcia? Are the Democrats running him for Congress yet? Do they know that they can run him for Congress? They don't seem to know much about the Constitution. We didn't get to the police chief. What's he? They call him he's a sheriff, not a piece of chalice. He's the sheriff, and he has no idea. Branches of government, a complete mystery to him. We did it on our television show last night. Actually had the audio with us here yesterday, and didn't get to us because our cup had runneth over. It was something the Democrat Party very unwell. And today, the Democrat Party, which of course fought vociferously and killed to keep black people from getting the vote in the United States of America, the Democrat Party did, while the Republican Party fought to free black people from Democrats and give black people the vote. And then Republicans fought to get women the vote, as Democrats fought against women getting the vote. And now the Democrats are out here pounding the table saying, we must defend black people and women who don't know enough to get an ID. They can't identify themselves because of the soft bigotry of low expectations of the Democrat Party. And they've expanded their soft bigotry of low expectations from black Americans to now all women. All women are too dumb to register to vote. And if they get married, well, then they're going to be befuddled for the rest of their lives. And they're never, oh, no, what do I do now? Lordy Lord, I can't get a passport. I got married, and my last name changed. And now, if I get pulled over, I'm going to be shot and killed by an ICE agent because I don't know how to get an ID. The Democrat Party is really, they're recruiting the stupid. And their voters, I think, are solidly in the stupid camp these days. Remarkable things. But we've got a lot going on today. We do, and there's still not a lot going on in that Arizona kidnapping. We found a pair of gloves. There's another 12 hours of programming for a pair of gloves. Fascinating stuff. But I'll keep my ear to the ground on that throughout the morning as the situation develops or does not develop. But in the meantime, the Democrats are very, very angry about they love illegal alien drug trafficking, child molesters, and the Democrats do. And what else do they love, Michael? They love to attack ICE agents and accuse ICE agents of terrible things while defending. And I got this great story out of Hennepin County. It's in Minnesota. And an illegal alien was arrested by ICE and at a courthouse. And the Democrats were there to oppose ICE madly, insanely, violently. And let me tell you about the guy that they're loving, that they're adoring. Let me tell you about the guy that they want their daughter to marry. I've got that illegal alien love story coming up because the Democrat Party mentally ill, very severely mentally ill. Oh, by the way, I live in Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. It's the District of Columbia. And a couple of stories popped out of Washington, D.C. last night because the Democrats, they've come up with a new approach to crime and violence. And you know what they do? They don't want the police called. You know, they like social workers sent to things, so social workers can be killed. And that's their plan. The Democrats have a plan. But here is, they have in Washington, D.C., they hired people and they pay them to be what they call violence interrupters. Violence interrupter. I'm going to get business cards that say Chris Plant, violence interrupter. I think that's it. But the local ABC station, Channel 7, ABC 7, they've got the headline, and I love my favorite part is the first word. Another D.C. violence interrupter charged with murder. What? What's this? You know, how do they make murder funny? The Democrats, only the Democrats can make murder funny. This is great. And the subheadline is, Agency Creating New Model for Program. Well, after another violence interrupter was charged with murder, maybe you should take a look at what's going on with your violence interrupter program. But the Washington, D.C. is the Dateline 7 News. Another violence interrupter faces charges in a deadly 2023 shooting that happened in Northeast D.C. News 7 confirmed Wednesday that a man who was charged this month for killing former college basketball star Blake Bozeman was a violence interrupter. Apparently, maybe he doesn't understand the meaning of those words. Maybe he went to public school in D.C. and he doesn't. Interrupter, what's that? Does that mean I get to shoot and kill people? Yeah, that's what it means. Sure. Frank Johnson, 43 years old, is the second man arrested in the basketball star Blake Bozeman's death. The other suspect, I like this, Cody Wynn, C-O-T-E-Y, Cody. Is that Cody? I think they're going for like Cody Jarrett, C-O-D-Y, but they got C-O-T-E-Y. Cody Wynn was also a violence interrupter at the time of the shooting. What's this? That's crazy. Johnson and Wynn are both facing first-degree murder charges, and that's okay. And I want to update you on that a little bit because the Democrats, they hire violence interrupters, and their violence interrupters go out and murder people with guns because Democrats. And that's not it because that's not all there is to it because when I was researching this, I found another story. Big Sky. Somebody goes by name Big Sky. Big Psych. I got a little dyslexia. Big Psych. Big Psych speaks. Inside the dangerous life of a D.C. violence interrupter. Sounds like it's more dangerous to not be a D.C. violence interrupter, but a former D.C. violence interrupter busted on serious gun and drug charges, is speaking exclusively to 7 News I-Team investigator Scott Taylor. Levon Williams. Levon likes his money. Levon Williams said he's now being treated like a virus. What kind of virus? Maybe monkeypox or something? By the very city that hired him to help reduce violent and criminal activity. And then he was busted with gun and drug charges, and that's okay. He's been exonerated not once but twice in court because D.C. juries, they prefer crime and criminals. And before his arrest, he was serving as a violence interrupter for the district. Well, at least he didn't shoot and kill any college basketball stars, but violence interrupters serve as undercover advocates, undercover angel. Working within the community. I was going back and forth with my friend Brian Doherty yesterday, and he said, I think the word community has got to be the most overused word of the 21st century so far. The Democrats love the word community, but they don't know what it means. Violence interrupters serve as undercover advocates working within the community, often without wearing a uniform, always without wearing a uniform, or carrying a badge. In order to build trust, identify brewing conflicts, and mediate disputes before they turn into violence, unless they're the ones doing the shooting, as the story that I just shared with you lays out. Isn't that amazing? Yeah, so sorry, Big Psych. And and hey, it's dangerous out here being a violence interrupter. No kidding. That's why we send police in with body armor and guns, because it's dangerous because of the Democrat Party criminals. There are a lot of them. Yes, there certainly are. I got an update for you on the transgender Canadian mass murderer, too. He's tranny, and he dressed like a lady, and the news media and the police there don't know what to call him. They say, what do they call him, a shooting person? Or gun person? A gun person. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police called him a gun person because you can't call him a gunman, and you can't call him a gun lady. So you call him a gun person. That was pretty funny stuff. Gun person. Yes, sir. Also, a ridiculous story out of the owner of Time Magazine. The Time Magazine has an owner. It's a guy. He's a rich guy. And he made a joke at a Salesforce event, big company, Salesforce. My brother used to work for Salesforce, and told a cruel joke about ice. And I read story after story on this, and nobody repeated the joke. Maybe it's too scary, too offensive, but nobody repeated the joke. They just say he told a joke, and it was in bad taste because they murdered comedy long ago. They're unfunny people. Also, speaking of unfunny people, Bad Bunny. I've got an update for you on Bad Bunny's Super Bowl performance, and suffice to say it was not very good, but it did set a record. It did set, and the Democrats love it because it would be racist not to love it. They've got that going. And we you heard this coming in. President Trump and coal. President Trump receives shiny trophy as he is named, quote, undisputed champion of beautiful, clean coal. That's undisputed champion of beautiful, clean coal. That's a nice award. I wish I had that award. By mining executives at the White House. And the Democrats are like, oh, no, we can't have clean coal. That's because we're our lungs. And then they get back to smoking crack with the free pipes handed out by the Democrats because of their mental illness. So we got a few things for you. Oh, and Capitol Hill. Got these ridiculous people on Capitol Hill like Congressman Steve Cohen. He's the chicken man. Remember Chicken Man? He's Chicken Man. He's an embarrassment to Congress, which gets harder and harder. Honestly, embarrassing Congress at this point, that's a heavy lift because they so embarrass themselves every day. And I'm reclaiming my time, Maxine Waters, and they got all these mental dwarves. Can you say dwarves? You'd have to say mental little people. You have to say mental little people? Mental little tiny people. Munchkins, mental munchkins. Intellectual dwarfism. Pretty amazing stuff. But I love this story that I just scratched the surface of this story a couple of minutes ago. ICE, they're very upset, and the Democrats are everywhere in the country. They like to nationalize stupid, and they've done a good job of that. ICE agents tackle, arrest man after he leaves court in Minneapolis, prosecutors. They colon and then the word prosecutors. You could just do say prosecutors, but never mind that. So ICE agents arrest man after Minneapolis court appearance, and the news media very, very upset about the saga of Junior De Jesus Herrera Barrios, and oh no, he's been arrested. Wait till you hear who the Democrats are out there violently getting riled up and attacking the people in the courthouse, attacking federal agents because they arrested this guy. Who's another? Democrats have another hero. They got Luigi Mangione, a murderer hero of the Democrat Party. It's the only reason he's a hero of the Democrat Party because he murdered a man, and also they want to have sex with him. But that's another thing because they're Democrats and they're very unwell. And of course, Kilmore Abrego Garcia, hero of the Democrat Party, another hero of the Democrat Party. Well, I've got a new hero of the Democrat Party for you. Junior, you could go a Junior. He goes by Junior De Jesus Herrera Barrios. I'm sorry, how many syllables in that name? My name is Chris Plant. That's 2 syllables. His name is Junior De Jesus Herrera Barrios, 18 years old. And the Democrats are very angry. They're out there being violent because their buddy Junior De Jesus Herrera Barrios was being arrested by ICE. And it's terrible. There's a woman in the crowd screaming, "Oh no, he's a child. They're arresting a child." I made arrangements to turn that woman over to Junior De Jesus Herrera Barrios in the jail cell. We have a live streaming camera. I want to share. We don't really, but we're at 888-630-9625. I want to share with you this story out of Minneapolis from yesterday that the Democrats they're They're really, I think everyone is mentally ill in the Democrat Party. What are the Democrats doing today? They're I love their violence interrupters, murdering people and getting arrested, even when they're not murdering people, getting arrested with guns and drugs because they're drug dealers, because the Democrats are making everything better. And I think they're hiring their friends. We've got that. And the Democrats fighting against voter ID. Vociferously, they're going to break way into the Confederate States of America again so they can oppose voter ID because they want to steal elections. No one would oppose voter ID. You know, they have, I was talking about this last week, they have voter ID in Somalia, voter ID in South Africa. And Democrats say, no, people here, in particular black people, the Democrat Party, the party of slavery, says, in particular black people and women who get married are going to be too confused to get an ID. They can't prove who they are. How could they possibly prove who they are? But we've got that. And we've got Chicken Man, Democrat Congressman Steve Cohen, and he loves illegal aliens. He loves criminal illegal aliens. And he says that Americans, forget about illegal aliens, they said they're going to arrest the worst of the worst. And Congressman Democrat Steve Cohen says Americans are the worst of the worst. They are anti-American, pro-illegal alien, criminal gang member, murderer, rapist, child sex trafficking, drug trafficking Democrats. Did I mention that they're in the country illegally? Illegal aliens. The Democrat Party is mentally ill. And if you are a member of the Democrat Party and you're listening, I suspect that you are also mentally ill and that you're incapable of reasoning and thinking for yourself. And that's why I show up every day, to think for you, because somebody has to. But the first one that I want to get to is the audio that I have for you out of a courthouse in Minneapolis in Hennepin County, Minnesota. Honestly, they'd become the Frank Zappa song of long ago. Who could imagine that they would freak out in Minnesota? But wait till I tell you about the chaotic scenes at Hennepin County Government Center as ICE makes arrest. And the Democrat Party very angry. How dare the ICE make Immigration Customs Enforcement make an arrest? They really need to be the National Immigration Customs Enforcement. They need to be nice. That'll confuse Democrats further. Wacky, rascally Democrats. Yeah, wait till I play Chicken Man, Congressman Steve Cohen. You know, he brought the chicken dinner into a congressional hearing, humiliating himself and the Congress of the United States, and that elevated his status in the Democrat Party. And I want to get to him and also the arrest in Minnesota. I want to get to that in a minute, too. But right now, let's go to the telephones at 888-630 9625, 630-9625. Let's go to Fayez calling from Florida. Fayez, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hi, Chris. How are you doing?
Very well, my friend. How are you?
Good. I saw some of the hearing yesterday from the Congress.
Yes.
And instead of those Democrats jumping up and down like they have monkeypox break or something, they can issue a law to waive the statute of limitation the same way they did in New York to target President Trump in Eugene Carroll's case. And instead of this theatric, they can issue the law to waive the statute of limitation. Then they can challenge the Attorney General that she has no excuse not to indict anyone involved with Epstein. But everything else is just theatrics, not going anywhere, not targeting any truth or relief for the victims or whatever they're claiming on the hearing.
Well, you are 100% right, Fayez, and the Democrats, to them, it's all a terrible cable television show. It's about getting screen time, TV time. They're all frauds and fakes. I think every one of them at this point is a fraud and a fake. And you're right, shouting down Pam Bondi and not letting her respond and making up all these ridiculous things about how, a child who's an American citizen with stage 4 cancer was arrested by ICE. They just fabricate these stories, and the news media doesn't fact check them. They just parrot the BS stories that the Democrats are peddling. And Fayez, I got to tell you, these people, and this is all about, now over here, they're saying we need to open our borders up and wave every illegal alien, gang member, child sex trafficker into the country, drug trafficker into the country. Got to wave everybody in. And over here, they're saying, oh, you can't have a license to vote. And of course, what is it, Fayez? In 19 states, Democrats give driver's licenses to non-citizens, and that's all you need to vote. In 14 of those states, they automatically register you to vote. Fayez, I'm beginning to think that the Democrats want to steal elections. What do you think?
I think they are up to that with all their power. One more thing regarding their care for women and children. When they released 15 million immigrants, mostly male, in the military age, and those males, they come without their women, and they need, as a human need, they need food, they need shelter, and they need sex as a human need. So who will they find out to pry on rather than our daughters, our wives, and our sisters? The Democrats know exactly that, know exactly what they're doing. And they're releasing those males into our communities. You're not safe, your daughter is not safe, your wife is not safe. They're doing it knowingly. Their daughters are protected with hundreds of gunned men. We pay for it, and they want to take away your guns. You cannot protect yourself, and they're releasing those numbers on our communities. That's how they care for our daughters and the victims and women and all this.
And Fayez, they want to defund the police, and they want to defund ICE and eliminate ICE altogether. I've been saying this for a long time. You may be aware of, Fayez. It's almost like they're not on our side.
For sure.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Well, listen, Fayez, thank you for being aware and paying attention and being smart, and thank you for being on the side of common sense, which isn't as common as it used to be. Great stuff, Fayez. Thank you. Have a great Florida day where they haven't gone completely and utterly crazy yet. I tell you what, thank you, Fayez. Michael, I'd like to go to Congressman Steve Cohen. Steve Cohen. And this guy is really something. He's soundbite number 1 today. He's so bad. And this was yesterday. In fact, Fayez, what you're talking about, the Pam Bondi hearing on Capitol Hill. And here comes Chicken Man, the guy who brought the bucket of chicken and he thought he was making a political point with his bucket of chicken. And political point was that he's a complete idiot. But Democrat Congressman Steve Cohen, arguing with Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, if he were a Republican and Pam Bondi were a Democrat, the media would crucify the Republican for speaking so condescendingly to a woman who is the chief law enforcement officer of the United States of America. And Steve Cohen also, Alex Preddy, who showed up at 2 different riots. There were riots because of him and his friends, where he brought a gun, a 9mm 6-hour pistol, and a backup magazine with lots of ammo in case it turned out to be a death match. And then it did turn into a death match because he credited it. And the Democrats think that Alex Preddy is the hero, but that doesn't mean that Democrats know how to pronounce his name.
The fact is, ICE is running rampant, and you are not investigating them. When they killed Mr. Pretty and Miss Good, that was an execution, and you did not investigate it. And you tried to investigate Miss Good's widow, and you tried to investigate Mr. Pretty. They were executed like Kristi Noem executed her dog. And that was wrong. And you should investigate those people, and you should investigate anybody that uses a weapon, federal official or not, for civil rights violation.
Very upset about that. How did he pronounce Prete? Prete. Then he kind of got it more, I think a staffer was making faces at him. You're still mispronouncing his name, and you sound like an idiot. You should go get a bucket of chicken and come back. And they were executed, like Kristi Noem executed her dog, right? And you guys snuffed out more than 1 million babies last year, and you call it choice. And now you care about a dog. And the dog was a rabid psycho dog, and but never mind that. That's a Prete. That's a Prete.
When they killed Mr. Prete, pretty.
That's a Prete, whatever. And and good. And they were executed. Well, one crashed her car into a federal agent after punching it. And after ignoring police orders to get out of her vehicle, she was blocking a police operation with her vehicle. Told to get out of her vehicle, she instead put it in gear, punched it, and crashed the car into a federal law enforcement agent, an effort for which she was shot and killed. Tragically, her own stupid, ignorant, and then it's behavior and decision-making. You know, every day is an IQ test. She failed her IQ test that day. Renee Good, and she's a hero of the Democrat Party, just like, of course, Luigi Mangione, who assassinated a CEO on the sidewalks of New York. And the Democrats, we just had sentencing about a week ago of the Democrat who tried to assassinate President Trump along the side of his golf course, not to be confused with the Democrat that tried to assassinate President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, and shot him through the ear, but pay no attention to that. So, yeah, they were executed like Kristi Noem's dog. They care more about dogs than they do about human life, although they don't actually care about dogs, too. Even that is a lie. And Chicken Man, Steve Cohen. This is it. The illegal alien gang members from Venezuela they're not bad. Americans are bad. We so far still outnumber illegal aliens, but here is Democrat Chicken Man, Steve Cohen, that Americans are really the worst of the worst. We are a horror show. We must be stopped. We should probably be shot in the streets.
We need people working in the front lines and local law enforcement to protect our citizens from the worst of the worst. The worst of the worst are not the immigrants. The worst of the worst, records show, are native-born Americans, and they are committing crimes that hurt our citizens and our cities.
Yeah, they're not immigrants. We're talking about illegal alien criminals. And he calls them immigrants. It's true that legal immigrants to the United States actually commit crimes at a lower rate than Democrats in the United States. But the Democrats commit crimes at a horribly high rate, and they murder thousands and thousands of people every year in the United States. And again, it's like we're talking about drunk drivers, and they attack you for being mean to drivers. Well, we're not talking about drivers. And then they just keep saying drivers instead of drunk drivers. Drunk Mexican illegal alien drivers who are all over the place. And there it is, the worst of the worst. Those are Americans. Americans are the worst of the worst. U.S. citizens are the worst of the worst. Well, maybe we should turn ice on the Democrats and see what happens with that. But he is saying that America, forget about illegal aliens. It's like Barack Obama, forget about illegal aliens, immigrants learning to speak English. They'll learn to speak English. Teach your kids to speak Spanish, because the Democrats are planning the fundamental transformation of America. You know, they are. But with that said, the Democrats, they're anti, Steve Cohen representing the Democrats here today, they're anti-American, attacking us. We are the worst of the worst, except when it comes to Alex Prete and Renee Good, who one showed up with a firearm and a backup magazine to attack the police on 2 different occasions, and he was shot on the second occasion and killed. And it was his own doing, and it was tragic. You know, he was so brainwashed by the Democrat Party that he's out there with his gun and a backup magazine. It's loaded with a full magazine, semi-automatic 9mm 6-hour pistol with a backup magazine. And he's, hey, I'm going down to the riot, honey. Oh, don't forget your pistol, sweetie pie. And, oh, here's your extra magazine, throwing it over the transom, because I know you're going down to confront federal law enforcement who are enforcing the laws having to do with illegal alien gang members, trafficking and drugs and everything else. But never mind that. The Democrat Party. I'm telling you. Now, let's go to the next story. And this is kind of this is wackadoodle-doo. The Fox 9 KMSP, that's the Minneapolis-St. Paul Fox local station there. ICE agents, this is the headline, ICE agents tackle, arrest man after he leaves court in Minneapolis, prosecutors. So ICE agents arrested an 18-year-old man at Hennepin County Government Center on Tuesday morning. He faces a felony drug charge in a case involving meth. That'd be methamphetamine. It's a dangerous narcotic, and it's not good for you, as it turns out. Prosecutors said. Hennepin County Attorney Mary Moriarty said his arrest could make it difficult to prosecute him. You think it'd make it easier because now he's under arrest, but no, it could make it more difficult because Democrats. The headline goes on. Chaos unfolded in Minneapolis on Tuesday morning as ICE agents arrested a man at Hennepin County Government Center after he left a court hearing. Now, here's the thing. ICE agents arrest man after Minneapolis court appearance. And ICE arrested, listen, Junior De Jesus Herrera Barrios, 18, in the courthouse lobby, prosecutors said. He faces a felony drug charge related to meth. They just keep saying the same thing over again. His arrest drew attention from onlookers. There are a lot of onlookers at the courthouse. They're leftists who are there to protest, who recorded the event, blew whistles, and followed federal agents as they escorted Herrera Barrios out of the building. That's because he's an illegal alien who was in court for his crimes, and ICE arrests illegal alien criminals that are illegally in the country and need to be deported from the United States by way of catapult across our southern border, or maybe into the Pacific Ocean or the Gulf of America. How about that? ICE pressure could impact cases, lead to drop charges, county attorney warns. These are Democrats. Oh, no, he was arrested. We're going to have to drop all charges. This is mental dwarfism of the first order. Now, I've got, before I tell you about this guy, who the Democrats are defending, I want to play audio of the Minnesota ICE agents. They tackled the illegal alien in the courthouse for other crimes, and they want to deport him because that's their job. That's why we have agencies like this. And he's the 18-year-old meth dealer. So is he just smoking meth in a little glass pipe that the Democrats gave him on a street corner? Here's what it sounded like in the courthouse when ICE was arresting an illegal alien who's there in the courthouse for unrelated charges. Like, oh, no, you can't arrest in the courthouse. You can't arrest in a school. You can't arrest in a hospital. You can't arrest in a mosque.
Oh, my God.
Listen to her.
It's just a little boy.
He's just a little boy. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God.
I have turned her over to the criminal, and she hasn't been seen since. Now the FBI is looking for her in Arizona. All right, here is I had to look and look and look because story after story and Democrat after Democrat left out all the important details left out. But let me go to Bring Me the News. Bring Me the News. Chaotic scenes at Hennepin County Government Center as ICE make arrest. Incident sparked alarm as the 18-year-old was attending a hearing for first-degree drug possession. But it's better than that because you gotta look at the story. You got to go way down into the story, many paragraphs down into the story, and it turns out that the guy is not the best neighbor, and you probably Democrats want their daughters dating this guy, but normal people don't. And here's the thing: Barrios of Burnsville, Minnesota, illegally living in Burnsville, was charged with first-degree drug possession after being found behind the wheel of a vehicle containing more than 50 pounds of meth on January 8th. In fact, as I understand, it was 57 pounds. 7 pounds of meth would get you in trouble. So 57 pounds of meth on January 8th. Complaint against him said that he was driving after his license had been revoked after a previous underage drunk driving conviction. So the Democrats want to run him for Congress, and they want their daughters to date him. He's 18 years old. He's got no driver's license, like Leon Spinks. He's underage, drunk driving, illegal alien, and he's got 57 pounds of meth. And Democrats are out there attacking ICE agents in the courthouse. Let him go. And this idiot liberal white woman, the colorectal cancer of American politics, a liberal white woman, I said, oh, no, he's just a little boy. Right, the illegal alien. Who did he steal the car from? He's got no driver's license. He's got an underage drunk driving conviction, and we still let him wander around, and now he's got 57 pounds of meth. And the Democrats are out there screaming and defending him because of their mental illnesses.
Oh my God. It's just a little boy.
All right, I see we don't have a great deal of time, but let's go quickly to Louie calling from the great state of Arkansas. Louie, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hi, Chris.
Hey, Louie.
You're the best violence protector in the world, man.
You're very kind. Thank you. It's always been my goal until I become really aggravated.
Yeah, it's very easy with them. Yeah, I was calling you because I had an idea if the Democrats keep on wanting to push, ICE as the villains and everything. Maybe they should do a ride along with ICE, for a whole shift and get an idea of what they have to go through.
Well, I'm not sure I would subject ICE people to that.
That's true.
The ICE people, the Democrats, and also I've learned something, Louis. Democrats don't learn anything. They're incapable of learning, no matter how much you try.